2045, Germany is to become greenhouse gas neutral. This means all sectors must replace fossil fuels with renewable energy sources, especially in industry and transport. Climate protection targets can only be achieved in this way. The PtX Lab Lausitz is working on precisely this goal in an interdisciplinary and cross-sectoral manner. The lab advises industry, politics and science on the road to greenhouse gas neutrality, connects stakeholders, gathers knowledge and creates synergies. It does so, for example, on synthetic fuels and basic materials used for aviation and maritime transport. The synthetic fuels are based on renewable energies and green hydrogen. The share of global greenhouse gas emissions of these sectors can probably not be reduced substantially by the direct use of green electricity. Increasingly, fossil fuels are being replaced by biofuels, but these in turn require large amounts of agricultural land and water. They do not exist on the scale required. In contrast, so-called power-to-liquid (PtL) fuels can be produced more sustainably. Power-to-liquid technologies enable the production of synthetic fuels and basic materials from electrical energy. Thus, they can help to make aviation and maritime transport, as well as the chemical industry, greenhouse gas neutral. Until now, these synthetic fuels and basic materials made from green electricity have not been produced on an industrial scale. So it's about time that production capacities are increased and to get the market up and running. A big amount of electrical energy is needed to produce power-to-liquid fuels. They're only greenhouse gas neutral if this energy comes from renewable sources. Furthermore, CO2 is a necessary input which can be obtained nowadays from biomass and industrial waste gases. Ideally, the CO2 will be extracted from the air in future. This technology is known as direct air capture, or for short, DAC. That said, renewable energies are currently a rare resource due to high demand from many sectors, and further expansion of renewables is still needed. Synthetic fuels and base materials must be used where they're most effective in protecting the climate. Electric cars are already tried and tested today. They are much more efficient than cars that run on synthetic fuels. In contrast, ships and aeroplanes have long lifespans, and it's unlikely that electric propulsion technologies for them are going to be ready for series production in the decades ahead. Only with power-to-liquid fuels will aircrafts and vessels be able to break away from fossil jet fuels and respectively heavy fuel oils and other fossil marine fuels by 2045. It's important to note that the essential resources for the energy transition must be available globally on sustainable and just terms. They must not be withdrawn by rich countries from poorer ones that need them themselves. Binding international standards and certification systems will also be needed. The goal is to provide sufficient quantities of sustainable power-to-liquid fuels rapidly. To define the challenges of power-to-X, PtX technologies, and to find solutions, the PtX Lab Lausitz is pushing for the construction and operation of a power-to-liquid pilot plant. At the facility, researchers and practitioners will investigate how to produce synthetic fuels as sustainably as possible. In this way, structural change in the region is being actively shaped. The former lignite mining area will become a sustainable post-fossil energy region, a major climate action in Germany.